I love how Impresslits make it very easy to create a dimensional embellishment for our projects. Here I'm comparing the Holly with the Holly Berries. Now, if you've never used an Impresslit before, they're like a 3D embossing folder, but they have a die cut built right into them. So not only do they press the paper into the areas of that particular embossed part, but they also die cut it. So I like to mist my paper anytime I'm using a 3D embossing folder, and the Impresslit is no different. I do mist my paper to make sure that paper is nice and soft, or those paper fibers are nice and soft, and they can go into all the nooks and crannies. I am using a Big Shot machine. I have both top tabs open, and I'm only using one cutting plate. I put it back and forth through my machine just to give that paper a little bit of time to get into all of those nooks and crannies and for it to die cut that paper. Once I pull it out, I take off the excess cardstock that is around the die, and then I use a die pick to remove the rest of it. Now, when I was putting it back and forth, this end wasn't going under the roller, so it didn't actually die cut. This was the end that was on the left, but for the demo, it's not going to make any difference. So I can leave this cardstock as is, or I could use sprays, I could use wax, or I could use an ink pad like I'm using here. I'm just lightly rubbing it against the raised surface of that Impresslit, and then I'm just going to take some distress or some water in a distress sprayer and spray it. Leave it completely to dry, and that ink is going to bleed and blend and run in those layers. That Holly one I did earlier was enhanced with wax paste, and then I put some red stickles for the berries. These are a great way to add some texture and dimension to your projects and create embellishments.